What's up everyone? In this video we are going to be talking about one of the principles of persuasion from my best-selling book Power Persuasion, and that is the principle called fear of loss. And here's the cool part, is we are going back to my home country Oman in order for me to explain this principle to you. Stay tuned. We are at the souk in Oman, and I want to talk to you about one of the principles of persuasion, fear of loss. And the reason I picked this place to talk about this principle of persuasion is because this is where I initially learned it. When I was a young kid coming here with my mother, and my mother would take me to the souks and we'd walk into the first shop, and she'd look around and then she'd find something that caught her fancy. And then she'd say, how much for this? I want that one. They'd give her a price, and my mother would give the most noteworthy Oscar award-winning worthy performance where she would get into shock and absolute disgust and say, what? The shop down there had it for half the price. And then would start to storm out. Hence, she was building a fear of loss in the shopkeeper. So this is where I first learned it. It's also where I first learned never to correct my mother and say to her, but Mom, we haven't been in any other shops before. You make that mistake once, you don't make that mistake again. I think I better make a note of this. So this is where I first learned that my mother would install a fear of loss in the shopkeeper. However, it's an art in the souk. Haggling is an art. Negotiation is an art where both parties try and impart the principles of persuasion. So what would the shopkeeper return with? But ma'am, we only have 2 in stock, and someone has just come and asked us to keep one of those for him. So then what would happen? They would install a fear of loss in my mother. And this would go on back and forth, essentially trying to install fear of loss in each other, which is one of the principles of persuasion. So now let's look at how fear of loss is actually plays out in the real world, or in the online world, as I like to look at it. So first of all, you might know fear of loss as FOMO, the fear of missing out. That's what a lot of people call it these days. Hashtag FOMO. And so a lot of people call it FOMO, but let's look at where people apply it, and especially in business, how people are applying it. So first of all, I'm going to, let's say you got inspired by my video and you're thinking, wow, I need to go and visit Oman. Well, let's say you went to a website like booking.com. Now, booking.com is very good at using fear of loss. So let's say, so for example, I'll show you a couple of instances where they've used fear of loss. Over here, in high demand, booked 53 times in high demand. So that's kind of like, oh, look, it's in high demand. There's a little bit of fear of loss over there. However, this is where they really kind of use that fear of loss. You see, you just missed it. Our last room sold out today. They are now sort of saying, hey, look, you're missing out on deals. So they're really building in that fear of loss so that you pay attention to the other deals. So let's look at a couple of other ones. Here, only 3 rooms left. There's another, like, fear of loss. You're going to lose out. There are only 3 rooms left. Look at what happened a few listings ago. That room sold out. Look, there are only 3 rooms left. Quick, book it now. See, they're building a bit of scarcity, that fear of loss, which drives people to book as soon as possible. Let's look at, you see again over here, it says, you just missed it. our last room sold out today. So they're saying it again. When they say in high demand, only 6 rooms left. Again, they're building in that fear of loss. So, you know, these guys are pretty good at building in that fear of loss, and they do that a lot. They also use a lot of what I call other people's perception. I have another video on that. Where I talk about how they're talking about what other people are doing, and I have a video on that as well. So they are very good at building in fear of loss. Now let's look at a couple of other people. Let's look at Amazon, right? How does Amazon use the scarcity, the fear of loss? So if you go to sort of last minute deals on Amazon, they have a countdown timer. They have a countdown timer telling you when this offer is going to be over. That kind of gets you to act quickly. The reality is people sort of say, hey, you know, I'll do it sometime, but sometime never comes. But when they get you to act now, basically they're getting you to act. And so that's why it's superbly powerful in that respect. I'll just show you another one. So this over here, you can see a countdown timer for a price on something. It's only 20 minutes left. So that price is only available for 20 minutes, and then the price is going to go up. These things get you to act very quickly, whether it's, you know, having that countdown timer, you know, where it tells you that something is in high demand and it might sell out quickly because there's only 3 rooms left. There's a little bit of scarcity there. So that's how you can apply these things in the real world. And you can see how different businesses are applying it in the real world. And it is such a big phenomenon that we, like I say, we have a very big phrase that people use in today's world, which is fear of missing out. People don't want to miss out on things. And so they have a severe case of FOMO sometimes. So this is Muneer asking you, have you ever experienced FOMO? Have you ever experienced that fear of loss? Has anything gotten you to act quickly because you were afraid of losing out? So answer in the comments below, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you on another video very soon. See ya.
Oh, hello internet. Muneer heard you like cat videos, so he hired me to talk to you. He makes videos to show you how to influence yourself through mindset changes and others through the power of persuasion. So when you hit the subscribe button now, you will get exclusive interviews, secrets, and mind-blowing tips on how to lead a more successful life.